Hey everyone, Mark and Joey back here on a Wednesday morning. A super exciting Wednesday morning. Raptors game tonight. And so the city is insane. Just off the top, kudos to our fans again. This morning they announced 37 Jurassic Parks to watch the game, and we're not even at home.
No.
So
well,
that's
probably
amazing.
even more reason because now you got 18,000 fans that'd be in the arena and you got a place to watch the game. Let's go.
So it's going to be insane here in Toronto. Unfortunately, calling for some thunderstorms. I hope that they hold off because, I mean, those people are dedicated enough to get wet, but thunderstorms are a whole different story. So we're really keeping our fingers crossed. It turns out to be a great night here in Toronto for all the outdoor fans. One thing I will mention, this morning I was watching the news, and one of the reporters was in the parking lot at the Oracle, and they were asking, do you see anybody? Well, you don't see anybody. These guys, what, 4 or 5 time champions. Like, this is no big deal for Golden State. So it's kind of funny. Our reporter's down there at 7 or 7:30 in the morning, and they're asking, I'm the only one here. I've not seen anybody around, not even the workers.
Hey, man, that's what greatness brings you.
Exactly. It's kind of blasé for them. They obviously don't want to lose it, but it's not the same excitement we have here in Toronto. Now, interestingly enough, the other thing they mentioned, a lot of injuries on Golden State.
Yeah, man, Golden State's banged up. This is the game, Toronto. You have to have this. You got to go up 2-1 with how Golden State is injured. They're not ready. They're not feeling great. Toronto, you got to get up 2-1. This is your game. You have to have it. Get up 2-1 because guess what? You can lose game 4 then, okay? If you win this one, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? You go into game 4 with a 2-1 lead. You know, 2 things on your side. One is you're playing more free because you're going, hey, if we do lose, it's 2-2 going back to Toronto, going back to our home. We got this. We got 2 games back there. And so, you know, this is just so important because then you can win game 4 by being simply relaxed. But this one is the game of the series. 70% of teams that win game 3 win the series. Now, Toronto has not always been great. They got down 2-1 to Philly, came back. They were 2-1 to Milwaukee, came back. So we're not completely worried, but this would be a huge game to have. Klay Thompson, he's going to play. He's going to play. Don't let him tell you he's questionable. He might not play. They're trying to psych you out.
What's questionable is how well he'll play.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He's going to dress, though. He's going to dress,
for sure.
And he can shoot. He made like 43s in practice yesterday. The question is, can he play defense? Can he do cuts? Can he do pick and rolls? I get it. But he's going to dress. So he's going to he's going to be somewhat impactful if you let him shoot the ball open. But he's normally a mover. He doesn't create his own shot. So I don't know how well that running's going to be to get open. But he is going to be out there. Andre Iguodala is going to be out there. I think he's got a little bit healthier. He's still a little banged up. But he's going to be out there too. You got Looney, who's guaranteed to be out. Durant, who's out this game. I think Durant's probably out game 4 too. So this is still your chance to get it done with a hobbled Klay Thompson. And Steph Curry said he wasn't even feeling great. And then Boogie Cousins, who played 28 minutes in game 2. He played 6 in game 1. He's going to have to play probably 30 minutes in this game. How long can he hold up after not playing much this regular season? It's all on your side, Toronto. You got to get it done. You're relatively healthy. The only person a little banged up, Kawhi. Although he's feeling pretty good, and like he said, that's why he's one of the greatest. They go, are you 100%? He goes, well, I'm on the court, so there's no excuses. I love it.
Well, yeah, this time of year, I don't think anybody's 100%, so he's just fitting in that category.
Lowry's got a broken thumb, probably. He keeps popping it back in and stuff. No one's 100%, but can you be the guys to fight through it? You have more depth. You need to get this done. This is game 3, must win. I look for Lowry to have a big game, too. Like he said, funny enough, he goes in his interview, he must realize, he goes, well, I'm better on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I play more aggressive on the road, play more freedom on the road. So I think it's his turn to have a big game with Kawhi doing what he does. And I like Toronto tonight in Golden State.
Well, I think I agree 100% on that. They have to go and do it. Some interesting conversation this morning, which to me, just doesn't make any sense there. But will it take it away from winning the championship if they beat a depleted Golden State Warriors team? This is ridiculous. This is what it's all about. You need to have the best players playing at the end. You need to have a team who can withstand the physical abuse, and they've done that. That is the mark of a champion. If they go out and beat Golden State, good for them. What was it, a year or two ago in the 7th game against Houston? It was a massive Houston guy who went out.
Look, man,
during that game, right?
I go through all the
and they didn't question that.
Golden State's had on their side, right? And part of having it on their side is that they have been healthy, but they had moments where, first of all, the first title they won, LeBron lost Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and was banged up himself. Last year, Chris Paul went down for Game 6 and Game 7, even though they were leading. In Game 7, the Western Conference Final, San Antonio was up 26 points. Kawhi Leonard went down, they ended up losing the game. So you want to talk about good breaks. Every great championship team has had good breaks. And Isaiah Thomas was on there saying the same thing. He goes, nobody cares. Get over it. You win, you win. That's right. All that matters to your city, and that's all that matters to players and fans moving forward. And at the end of the day, it's their fault for not staying healthy for whatever reason. He goes, we crucified Nick Nurse all season long for not playing Kawhi.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have played Klay so much. He doesn't need to play every game. Maybe they shouldn't play Durant so much. He doesn't need to play every game. And maybe sitting Kawhi for 26 games was what was needed to be done to be in this position. And even he's a little banged up, but he's healthier than those guys. It all comes into play. It's all part of it. I tell you what, every player has a story at a moment where their team was hobbled and that's why they lost. But they don't think of the moments where they were healthy and the other team was hobbled and that's why they won. It goes back and forth. That's what team sports is. I'm not worried about it. But you have to capitalize it because you freaking lose to a team who is hobbled. That's worse. Okay? That's the worst thing that can happen. So you got to still win and get it done. Nothing's a guarantee with Steph Curry on the court. So please still get it done. So that's the debate, is that we've won. And then the debate is, well, they weren't healthy. But at least we won. Yeah. If we lose and they weren't healthy, that's just horrible.
Yeah, for sure. And again, you just take what you face in the championship. Is what it is. Every year there's an excuse for one team or another. Doesn't matter. Yeah, all they do is put your name up there as league champions. It stays there, and within time, no one even remembers.
No one will care at the parade.
Exactly.
No fan at the parade is gonna be going, oh, no one cares.
So we're hoping for some great opportunity for our fans to get outside tonight. We're gonna have over 200,000 people watching the Raptors in an away game. Like, nobody can do what happens in the city.
That's at Jurassic Park, you mean, right?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
So we've been averaging about 5 million a game on TV for the whole game, and at some point, 10 million on average has tuned in to watch the games. The Raptors are now worth $2 billion. It's just been awesome.
If you wonder if Kawhi was worth the money,
and we always
or
talk
the trade.
About, me and you we're logical people, not cynical, more logical. We always look at the. How does a player really matter? Well, this is why he matters. He's now been offered from a stock company that they'll pay his 5-year salary up front. Man, Kawhi, you got to resign. You got to stay. He's bought a house in Toronto. We mentioned that before.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it also runs through Lowry. I mean, it's funny. Even the players said it in a lot of their interviews. And Isaiah Thomas, who, if you don't know Isaiah Thomas, former basketball player, one of the greats, was on First Take. That's why I'm kind of looking at this. He was talking about Lowry, how Lowry needs to be the guy because just because you might be the best player like Leonard is, he leads by example, and at big moments can calm a team down. The energizer, the juggernaut, the energizer bunny is Lowry.
He's a great dribbler, right? You've talked about that before.
I've talked about that. He controls, all point guards control the game.
Yeah.
Because they're great dribblers, and they can either, like I say, I've seen him dribble to the net, and then just dribble out of it and find an open guy. But he's also the Raptor. He's the guy who's been here for 7 years.
Yeah.
He was the first all-star, not superstar, but all-star to even sign when he was up for free agency. So he's the guy. He's got to have a big game. He knows he's got a big game. He said that. He's got to stay aggressive. And he's got to stay out of foul trouble, which is a big deal.
I was about to mention that. That's his biggest trouble this series.
He played too aggressive early on and got in foul trouble early and was out for a big portion of that I think the whole last 5 minutes he was out, maybe longer. We need you to play the whole game. We want you to be aggressive. But, watch those fouls, man. We love your hard work, but that's a big deal this series.
Yeah.
Is they're looking to call fouls for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it's different refs tonight, but you got to be careful of that. But he knows he has a big game. He's better on the road, like he said, and I expect him to do it.
Well, you know what's really bothering me? And when you watch on TV, you can't really follow what the refs are doing and how great it is, bad it is.
Fast.
We've heard a lot of the commentators talking about it's not been great refereeing. I just wish it was like other sports. Certainly the sport that we play our life as hockey, when it's playoffs, they put the whistle away. I mean, you got to take a guy down who's about to score a goal. You've got to really take something really bad, a knee, something like that might injure a player to get a call. These referees, I just wish they'd get out of the way. The amount of fouls is ridiculous. How soft a lot of these fouls are. I get it during the regular season because guys play a lot. They're playing teams and they want to make sure that certain players are kept under control because there's some players who play really rough.
But also want your stars to be healthy.
This is the playoffs.
Yeah, let them go.
When it matters. I hate seeing, I don't know, I can't even imagine, but I know there was like on our team alone, 4 or 5 guys with 5 fouls.
And
you can't put your stars at that in a playoff. Imagine if they all got 6 fouls and we're out of the game.
Yeah.
And we're about a bunch of bench guys playing the last part of the game.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
It's deciding how often these guys play. So they're your superstars, man. You should want these guys in the game. And nothing's big enough in these games.
No,
they're not punching each other. They're not angry at one another. This isn't a hostile environment. Let them play. And I'm tired of these defensive fouls. I'm tired that any offensive guy can run into a defensive player and it's a foul. I'm sick of it. Allow good defense to be good defense, please. And offense, make it happen. Be a man. Figure out other ways. Don't just drive in and bitch about a foul. It drives me nuts. Please, please, please put the whistles away tonight. With that being said, there's a couple more things we need to talk about. One, we got to make our pick for tonight. Like I said, I'm already going with Toronto. I think you are too.
Yeah, I think they have to be the pick right through because with the way the Warriors, if you can't beat them, then we just don't deserve it.
So we're going with Toronto. So there's our pick. But what the conversation has been about has been this one-box defense.
Oh, yeah.
And it is truly baffling how this angers so many people. Now, a lot of people like it, say it works.
Well, explain what it is. That's why a lot of people don't know.
So you got the paint here. You got the key. You put it somewhere at the top of the key, left side of the key, right side of the key, bottom right, bottom left. So it's a box, right? All around the paint. And then you got
actually a zone defense, really, when you think
about it. But this is what they call it.
Yeah.
And then you got a one-on-one point guard on point guard. So basically, when Clay went out and it was just Steph, and they knew Steph would have the ball, they put this box around it and then had Van Fleet cover Curry. What that does is no one's driving the hoop. No one's getting to the hoop. So that means no fouls are going to be given because no one's going to attempt that. And you're forcing them to take outside shots. And when you see them pull up for a shot, you quickly jump out, put a hand in their face, and see if you can contest a shot. But what that meant was no fouls on Toronto's defensive end. No one's going to the hoop. No free throws. And you're forcing these guys, no matter how good they are, it's still a lower percentage shot to shoot this three. Yeah. And the stuff coming out of Golden State's mouth was truly baffling about how they haven't seen it since Pee Wee ball, AAU ball, how it's childish, how it's disrespectful. I'm like, dude, it's a strategy, and it worked because you did not score for 5 minutes at the end of the game. And it worked, period. I don't care what it is. I don't care when's the last time you've seen it. Guess what? You're a Pee Wee basketball team right now. You're a high school basketball team. You got one star and a bunch of other kids who are an average or maybe above average. That's the way it is. That was great defense. I like Nick Nurse willing to do it. I like the players buying into it. If you're Toronto, they kind of laughed at it too when they picked up on it. But it worked. That's all that matters.
And in the end of the day, if this was Bill Belichick, this would be a genius at work. A genius at work because he went back, he grabbed some defense that he knew from way back in his game. He coached, he was an assistant coach, then became, now the greatest coach. If Bill Belichick put this kind of zone defense in football and won the game because of it, they would be talking about this forever he's so fantastic. In baseball, they put all 3 guys on the one side of the field because the batter, he hits the ball a certain way. He either sprays it to the opposite field or he pulls it. Well, how can you get mad that they do that? That's your tendency. Now, if your team's set up so that you're worried about them driving the net and you've only got one star out there in Curry, then why is this not a great thing? I can't believe these guys are talking about there is no such thing as shaming a basketball player. You play to win. That's all that matters. I don't care if they lined up 5 guys across the top of the key. And that's the way they defend it. I don't care what they do. They win.
They played an umbrella against Milwaukee, which was they had 3 guys at the top in this shape to block Giannis. No one seemed to care then because it's a basketball NBA defense.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Whatever worked. But you're built right now exactly the way they played you defensively. You're built with 1 star right now because Clay's out. And you have shooters. Tell your guys to man up and hit the shots. You did, so credit to you. Andre Iguodala, the last play, hit the shot. Although we almost stole it from you. You got lucky that, unfortunately, Kawhi couldn't come down with the pass. Just stop complaining. You're complaining because it actually worked, is why you're complaining. I don't get it. You're right. If it's Bill Belichick, they would have come in with some great story. They went to a Pee Wee game. You saw this. He brought it into the New England Patriots. They won the Super Bowl. Greatest coach ever, right? They don't do that with Toronto because they don't have the respect for Toronto or Nick Nurse right now.
Yeah.
I have mad respect. That's a great defensive play. They should do it tonight all game long. I think they'll be just fine. And it's the way Golden State's built without Clay and without Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that it was great. It worked. We don't care where he found it. We don't care when it existed. We don't care about any of those things. We care about one thing: win the basketball game. So credit to Nurse. We don't know what they'll be doing tonight. We hope for it to be effective. That's all that really matters to us. So at the end of the game, the Raptors have the lead. It's what we're expecting. We're looking forward to regaining home court advantage tonight, so that we can get that. And like you say, take the pressure off Game 4. I think there's a great opportunity here, and I think it really needs to happen, is to take both games of Golden State while these injuries are there. So no matter how much we want to talk about, oh, did it matter winning the series? Hey, you got to take advantage of what you can. And right now they're injured. 2 games from now, they may not be, because they're going to have time to rest, and Durant will be back, and then Clay will be healthier. So you better get it while you can as well, which is both games.
Both games will be difficult, but definitely,
of course, but you can take it.
Definitely tonight, because like I said, it actually gives you more of a chance to win Game 4 because of how free you should be and how you should be playing with house money, essentially, knowing that you're up 2-1. So that's why tonight is the game. That's why it matters so much if you look at percentages of series that teams often win Game 3, because it allows you then to play better in Game 4. Either you lose and you don't care, you go home with home court advantage, or you go up 3-1, which is next to impossible to come back from. So, I think you're right. You got to take advantage. They're going to only get healthier. You have 2 games in 3 nights here.
Yeah.
They're only taking 1 day off. Very rare.
They won't insert Durant in Game 4. They're less close now, playing back-to-back nights with one night off only.
They lose tonight.
I think you'll see Durant go Game 5.
You'll see Durant Game 4 if they lose tonight. I guarantee. Even if it's just in a uniform, even if it's just to make Toronto prep for him, even if it's just to go out there and distract and maybe make a few shots, but they will play Durant if they lose tonight. I guarantee you. So
that's the basketball game. Let's talk about one more story, which was unfortunate for our Drake, who's been this cheerleader. Everybody knows about Drake. And Joy, the story around wearing his father's jersey,
this is too bad.
It was just, the timing was bad. It's not like they talked. It wasn't done to intimidate. It was actually done in respect of Curry and his family and their Toronto history. But what happened?
Well, as you know, in Game 1, Drake wore Del Curry's signed jersey. It was done like people thought as a troll. And it was a little bit as a joke to get in Steph's head and to be funny. But the effort Drake put into it, really showed that it was funny and it was good and really, like Dell said, they know Drake well, and it was really out of honor, and Drake said that too, that he did play for our city. He wanted Steph to know that. But Steph was gonna wear his dad's jersey in warm-ups before Game 2. That exact jersey. He told his dad to pack one of his old jerseys so you can wear it in warm Game 2, the last game in Toronto, to start the series anyways. In honor of his dad and the history in Toronto. And obviously when Drake wore it in Game 1, Steph did not feel right because he thought people would look at it wrongly if he wore it.
He only did it because of Drake as opposed to for his dad.
So Del Curry was on an interview saying this. Steph was actually honestly pretty disappointed in it. And you kind of feel bad. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Maybe you should have mentioned it to Drake. I don't know how close you really are, but or maybe you should have just wore it in Game 1 warm-ups because Drake wasn't there at game time. But again, then it would have been seen like they knew it and whatever. It just unfortunately did not work out in Steph's way. He wanted to honor his dad. That's cool. But it was a great idea by Drake. It was super funny. It was all over the internet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they know his real respect. You saw the family giggle when they saw it. I think Steph thought it was kind of funny, although he did apparently mention it that he was supposed to wear this. And we do kind of feel bad for him because it would have been great to see, obviously, Steph honor his dad who played in Toronto. And Steph realized that that's where he did grow up. There's a bunch of footage of him in Toronto, and that he recognized his dad played there. But then the day, it's over. But it was interesting to hear that interview, and it was disappointing, obviously, for the Curry family.
It sure was, because it was all by accident, and that's too bad. It is a sort of an inside story. But the other thing you mentioned is they did have film of the Curry brothers playing on the court with their dad when he was here, just themselves after practice. They were making threes over and over and over again at 12 years old. Like it was unreal that they could do that. You and I, we were in Seattle when I worked there, and we took our clients down to the court. Remember, before one of the games, that 3-point line is way back. Like, we're throwing overhand to try and get it. These guys do that. But I'm looking at this
making
12-year-old
shots.
Yeah,
They were just tossing it up. It was truly ridiculous. And the pass they were making. And they were saying before every game, after every game, and during the game, they'd only watch the fourth quarter. They'd just be shooting hoops. They went upstairs and they put a net in for them, and they just shot hoops. And it's hilarious. I'd love to see Steph in a Raptors jersey one day if you're listening. But that was really cool.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, go to YouTube. I'm sure it's there. the Curry brothers shooting in the game. So it'd be fantastic to see these young kids just pouring them in one after another. So anyway, that's a little feature to take a look for if you can find it on YouTube. Anyway, big game tonight. We hope everybody enjoys it no matter what the result is. We'll only enjoy it if the Raptors win. We'll still report on it, but we'd love to be reporting from a victory standpoint. We'll see you tomorrow. Recap the game. Enjoy, and one way or another, I hope we see some fantastic basketball, which we should.